natural meditation which you give me
Yes,
during my.
yes, I have to work on that also. So we are gradually laying a strong foundation of these 40 steps of sadhana panchakam. So I'm just picking up everything, the gist, the summary of all the 40 steps. And once in few more sessions we will have a strong foundation, then it becomes very easy to move from the step wise. You see that at the time of the birth, both the child and the mother cries. And at the time of the death, I don't cry, but others who are attached to me, they cry. And during the life, I continuously cry due to passion. Continuously crying. Why I'm crying? I'm crying for sense objects. Sense objects through the mind. How come? By thought. What the thought says, I will be happy if I have this, if I don't have this. So sense objects, thought and passion. So I have a strong passion for those objects. Now see this strong passion. So when I have a passion for those objects, before I get it, I cry. After I get it, I cry. I cry because I didn't have it today. I didn't have it today. Or I have it yesterday, but I lost it. This is how, and it builds the ego, and then ego continues to look at pleasure, and that pleasure is not happiness. It is excitement. It is always excitement. I must, those thoughts are coming to my mind. So, pleasure is excitement. But I'm searching for pure happiness, permanent happiness. But the entire process, I'm aware of it. Deer gives the birth. They cry, but they are not aware. There is no self-awareness that we both cried, even at the later stage. No animals. No animals cry. That is why we are a human being. That is why we have a human body. Only the human body with this human mind can become aware. It is not accidental. It is not accidental. It is made like this so that I should become aware. Why I started this talk? Because I am aware of these crying and passion and pain and the pleasure. Two parts. One is from where it has come and what I should do. Oh, I'm feeling sick. What can I do? I cannot prevent. I have to take treatment. So this pain and the suffering and the pleasure, I become aware, and it is important. It comes, I know that now I should know it comes from the vasanas. I have to exhaust these vasanas. Animals cannot exhaust these vasanas because there is no self-awareness. An ant, an elephant, and a tiger cannot. I can let me exhaust these vasanas. Animals cannot exhaust these vasanas. Think, just think, animals cannot. They continue to live their life. A lion becomes an old, they are abandoned by their own needs. Their own relation, they are abandoned. Indirectly, we are also abandoned. I'm 90-year-old. What did you say? He doesn't know why he wants to listen everything. Now you have become old. Take rest. We are indirectly abundant. It's very fact. It's a fact of life. How can you take me to a walk? No, I'm busy. I'm going to the office. You are just sitting. We have a pain throughout our life in one way or the other. And that pain comes from the vasanas. And if we do not exhaust these vasanas, we have an intellect. I can exhaust these vasanas. Unconducive situation, unfavorable circumstances was given to me, that those vasanas I have created, let me exhaust and do not create any other vasanas. Do you see? From the last topic, I'm connecting to it.
Yes, but one vasana is created next step.
One vasana creates another vasana, third vasana. So let me exhaust these vasanas. How? I should not be attached by discussion in the intellect. Done. You have the best car, which cost $100,000, but today you fell and broke your knee because of the vasanas. So unless I exhaust this vasana, I take care of the knee, I start walking, then only I can try. So why to worry? Why to think in a negative way? I'm just saying, why to think in a negative way? That is what I'm saying, Why to think in a negative way? Why to think in a... You have a 10-bedroom mansion, 70 years old, heart attack, your relations forces you to go to the hospital and stay there. Your 10-bedroom mansion has gone. Do you see that? I have to exhaust these vasanas. If I don't exhaust these vasanas, I will have a problem throughout the life. At the time of the birth, I along with my mother cried. At the time of the death, my relations with attachment will cry. And during the life, I keep on crying. Because of which I say, oh, I must get this. Because I must get this means I must get this thing from the world to be happy. I'm creating more vasanas. So, unconducive situation, unfavorable situation in our family, in our relations are given to me to exhaust these vasanas. In the previous life, I did not understand. At least in this life, I should understand. Or should I live like an animal? I have to think of. Because I can think, I am a human being, I have an intellect, no other animals have a thing. Why I was given this unfavorable situation in this life, in relationship, why I'm given this wife or husband, why I'm given these kids, I have to let my intellect think. They have their own life. They got this type of a parent. I got these type of kids. So my vasanas are different than their vasanas. I have to exhaust my vasanas. Happily. Let me exhaust this vasanas completely. And then why, how? This passion, viveka and vairagya. That is the only thing required. Where endurance is required, let me endure it. Where action is required, I perform an action without attachment. Though because of this vasana already present from the previous birth made me a loss in this project. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead. You go to the doctor. Doctor says you have to take these pills, otherwise you'll have a problem. Do you have any other alternative? You take it. You are exhausting your vasanas. But if you keep on blaming and complaining, it will not work. Blaming and complaining, vasanas will increase. Getting excited with all kinds of pleasure, the vasanas is going to increase. Tendencies. Vasana is a tendency, impression. And specific impression that is rising up, that is known as sanskaras, and they are in the storehouse. I have to exhaust all my vasanas.
But I given my kids to exhaust the vasana to be father. So to care about the kids, I exhaust this vasana.
Yes, with free from attachment, I am offering all the resources, saying that these resources belongs to the existence, was given to me by the existence. Because I had a good vasanas, I'm offering you. Finished. Now, what you do with your vasana and those resources, that depends on you. That depends on you. So, what I do, I don't care out of excitement, I don't care out of attachment. I see here are the resources existence has given me. I'm happily offering you these resources to exhaust. I'm exhausting my vasanas internally, and if they do it, wonderful. If they don't do it, it is because of their problem. You cannot say anything. How you have seen the kids are raised and nurtured in a billionaire home, and they commit suicide. They have all the resources. You know, if you commit suicide, if you don't have the resources, that may intellectually make me understand. But how a person becomes a drug addict, get obsessed, spends all the money, becomes the poor again is not understandable. It is happening because of those vasanas, bad vasanas are already there. They don't want to exhaust those vasanas. Hence, another series of the vasanas are created. And these vasanas, I discussed last time, creates the impure states of the mind. You are born in a poor family, you are born in a rich family, you may have the same kind of an attachment or same kind of a detachment. Attachment or detachment lives in the mind because of the thought. Thought is created by the vasanas. So I have, that is the beauty of the human being, not found in any animal, not any living. We should be fortunate. We should be grateful. We should be thankful. My friends, that, oh, intellect, oh, I'm self aware. I can be aware of this. Don't react. Don't start running after the pleasure. Have this. Understand this. Once we have that clear understanding that today's my life had mixture of pain, mixture of pleasure, mixture of unfavorable circumstances, oh, let me exhaust it. Every day we have something. Every day we have something to blame and complain, something to be happy with the body, something to be unhappy with the body, with the mind, with the thought, with the relations, with the business. Every day there is something. We keep on crying every day, silently or sometimes. I have to exhaust these vasanas. If I don't exhaust, so I have to recognize the impure states of the mind. The impure states of the mind may taking me to create more vasanas, or pure states of the mind helping me to exhaust these vasanas. That ability lies with the human being. No other living species has this. Just see, think clearly, and you will see that. Lion teeth has gone, 25 years old lion, but still, because they don't have the self-awareness, they don't have the choice, they will still want to eat the flesh, not the cooked meat. Self-awareness. Look at it. Look at it. They have to eat the same. We can do that. So in the intellect, we have that ability, and that kind of an intellect can only have with the human body. And that is why we say the human birth. No animals can understand, can receive the knowledge through the concept, through the perception, through the attachment and detachment, only the human being. We can stop crying. Unfavorable situation, thank you, I'm going to exhaust, I'm going to endure this unfavorable situation, I will keep working. And let me exhaust this situation. An unfavorable situation I should not create further by reaction, by seeking strong pleasure. That is not possible with the lion, tiger, ant, elephant. They have to move in the same way. Choice lies with us. That is the way the seeker works in the life. Or do whatever you're doing your business, you're doing living your professional life, continue. It does not, internal transformation is required. Internal transformation is required. I should recognize the two flow of the mind. It is Shreyas, go for it. It is Prayas, hold on, check it, observe it, and then you move further. That is why our masters have created Shreyas and Prayas. That is the application. It is not only a philosophy. It is not only the word. How should I?
But really, I have to reflect not what is good, what is wrong, but is my mind clear at this moment or not?
Yes. Or you rightly said, in other way you can say that, is my mind living in Shreyas or Prayas? I can recognize. Mind continues to live in Prayas for all animals, but I have a choice. Same thing. You rightly said, you gave different expression. There is another expression. So let me engage in the self-discovery. So when I engage in the self-discovery, sense objects, imagined pleasure, thought, desire, I break the chain. So I move to the Shreyas. After recognizing, I break the chain. Okay, imagined pleasure, I did not recognize. Now I recognize I have a desire for this, and I'm seeking for desire fulfillment. It has come from the sankalpa and vikalpa. Now I can recognize it has come from the vasanas. Okay, can I change this movement of the mind which is going into the praise? Let me return back to the Shreyas by understanding. After understanding, I have to repeat this thought of the Shreyas 1,000,000 times. I mean to say continuously, because I have understood and I forgot. It will not work. So it means I have to live in awareness. So 1,000,000 times means continuously. Continuously, I have to see the defects in this thought process, which has come from vasana, sankalpa, vikalpa, desire, or imagined pleasure. I have to see it continuously. Then it will work. Otherwise, it will not work. So you see, we understand through the concepts in the but animals cannot. So I have to be thankful to the God or the existence. Thanks God, I'm a human being, I can think. Thought, which is a product of knowledge. So I'm thinking in a right way, so all the unwanted thoughts I can get rid of. Only by the thought I can get rid of the unwanted thoughts, undesirable thoughts, unconducive thoughts, unfavorable thoughts, painful thoughts. And then I recognize that is the right way to become a seeker. No animals, only the human being can understand the knowledge through the concept which is the product of my perception and sensation. Sensation through the sense organ, perception at the mental level. So my sense organ is not attached to this mouse. It is the perception. Perception comes by thought. Thought is the product. Thought comes from the desire. Before the desire, it was sankalpa vikalpa. Before the sankalpa vikalpa, it is the vasana. See the chain reaction. So that is why we say lack of right knowledge, ignorance, avidya. So what happens? The Shreyas and the prayers comes for rescue in the intellect first. I keep on thinking, this is Shreyas, this is prayers, this is Shreyas. So then I can change the flow of the mind at the level of attachment. Just by contemplation and reflection, it is possible. 100% it is possible. think, think, think. So you see that we understand the concept of the vasanas. It's very important. You see, here is the real self. Next level of awareness is the vasana. It's a lower. We are going down. Next level of awareness is the sankalpa, vikalpa. Then we have what? Desire, and then we have an action coming out of the ego, and we are returning back. From here, I have performed an action. An action I have performed as a doer and the enjoyer. So impression is again going back into the vasanas. It is triggering. Oh, it's such a good. Oh, I had a good food in that restaurant. Let us go back. It is because of the vasanas. Again, you see that? It is going back. It is happening. What is happening internally? Outside, I have the resources, so I go to the restaurant. I don't have the resources, so I don't go it. So that impression is already also stored in the vasanas. So because I cannot go, but at least once I can go in 1 year. So I collected lot of pain in the reservoir, and after all the time has come, once a year I will go on vacation. This woman has such a big ego who criticizes her husband. So she has a temporary happiness when her husband offered her to go on vacation to Europe. But the blame and complaint continues to live. She did not find, let me exhaust this vasanas of blame and complaint completely. And I see that, she has been suffering for the last 25 years. And she has been blaming sankalpa vikalpa, vasanas. Can you guide? Her answer is no, because of the big, I understand it. Now, after all, if he is wrong, then I have to say he is wrong. So my master used to say, when I criticize with the intense pain and emotion inside, with the duality, I will continue to increase these bad impressions in the vasana. So it is always good to refrain from blaming and complaining. Let other criticize you. So they are taking away my negative impressions. They are taking away my negative impressions. They are accepting it. And I contemplated and reflected on it. Makes a sense. It makes a sense that the other is criticizing, reacting, blaming, etc., etc., etc. And you are doing the good karma, it is going to create a favorable circumstances in your life, and at least you are emptying the reservoir of the karma. It is not going back. Because if you follow the shreyas, it is not going back. Even if you are eating the pasta, whatever you like, not as a doer and the enjoyer, but as a gift coming from the existence. Thank you. So I have to, if I maintain my awareness, how this sankalpa and the vikalpa originates in the mind, thought, in the form of it, thoughts and desires by past experiences, by conditioning, by the vasanas. Conscious choice. Conscious choice, again and again, conscious choice, once, twice, thrice, 1 million times. So once it happens 1 million times, now I recognize my sankalpa and vikalpa. What is this? I gave another definition of sankalpa vikalpa. Sankalpa is imagined happiness or projected happiness, plus doubts is vikalpa, whether I get that happiness or not. So I have 1 million thoughts to get one thing, one object in the world. One thought of that I will get a pleasure. But if I get little pleasure, if others will buy the TV that I'm going to buy, everything is exhausted, what will happen? Oh, when you have sankalpa, you always have vikalpa. You see that imagined and projected, not only happiness, but the doubts, but the fear of losing. Oh, TV is gone. Now I cannot have the pleasure. I cannot buy it. Can I order it? No, I'm frustrated that I lost. I should have come 1 hour before. Because at the cashier counter, he says, oh, you should have come 1 hour before. You should have got this. Now I'm more frustrated. But I cannot come 1 hour before because, I have a sleeping habit. I wake up late. Why I wake up late? Because I had couple of drinks in the night. You see the cycle. Cycle of the vasanas continues, and that is how we continue to cry in our. That is what is. You have to understand it. You have not only to understand, you have to just contemplate and reflect, and you see how easy it becomes for you to live. So, in fact, with sankalpa and vikalpa, from the vasana, the seed of attachment and aversion is sown. Seed is already there. You are watering by sankalpa and vikalpa. You are watering with attachment and detachment. You are watering with excitement. You are watering with egoism. You are watering with restlessness. And that comes in the form of a desire with the ego. Understand it clearly. It's a very beautiful way to keep your mind totally free. So you see the chain is vasana or sanskaras, then you have sankalpa, vikalpa, then you have desire, and then the desire takes the form of 6 factors, and 6 factors creates an impure states of the mind. I talk from that impure states of the mind logically. I talk with impure states of mind logically. My honey has divorced me and that's why I'm suffering. I'm talking logically with my impure states of mind. This is going to cause more problems. This is going to cause, I'm not talking with a discernment and dispassion. So impure states of the mind may talk logically. That's why we fight. That's why we have millions of court cases. That's why we have crime. That's why we have violence. Because I am still engaged in the imagined reality and the projected reality. Did I tell you that last week I told you I read the title of an article written by a woman who said, I have $1 million in my account. American law says that the moment you divorce 50-50, and see, I want to divorce my husband, but I don't want to give him $500,000, which I earned. What to do? I don't have $1 million. I would be happy, and I will then start giving all the sessions free. So that should be my goal. And why should I divorce? I will not. I will improve myself. I will improve my habit, behavior, attitude. You go to the court. I'm exhausting my vasanas. But who will guide her? We have psychotherapists and psychiatrists. We have different coaches. They are going to guide. So no, I just opened
So,
as browser and I saw the title and then I understood the story. I did not need to read the story.
so it's working of Vikalpa. He is afraid to lose the money.
You see that? That is what the sankalpa. Understand it clearly. You will play with them. As a human being with the self-awareness, with the intellect, I can play with sankalpa vikalpa. At present, sankalpa vikalpa is playing with me.
But to create sankalpa, it's the best way to create motivation for action.
And to create a good sankalpa is what Mangalacharan is. We will talk about it. You see that? You are getting it. You are getting deeper. Yes. Yes. So you rightly coined the word, to create a sankalpa, good sankalpa. Sam sarve bhavantu sukhina, let everyone be happy. I am you. See that? See. Do you see how penetrating understanding our masters have? She should, instead of divorcing, she should have changed her attitude. So it means she had certain kind of seeking pleasure which she is not getting from her husband. So that's why she is going somewhere. She might have thought of it. Or she had some issues. Oh, those issues was given by the existence to exhaust my vasanas. I'm living in a leader of the free world country. But who will guide? And in saving for that $1 million, she has to undergo tremendous vikalpa of stress, abuse, blame, complain, fighting. For how many years? 10 years. That one is awesome. My goodness, this is what is happening in the world. We have to understand. So you see that, there are not only sankalpa, vikalpa, then you have desire, and the desire takes the form of the 6 enemies, and the 6 enemies takes the form of the different impure states of the mind. In that state of the mind, Master says, just chant with me, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, let everyone be happy. You see Mangalacharana, auspicious movement. You have already created inauspiciousness in your life. You are not understanding that you need to exhaust the vasanas. You are creating more vasanas. Let everyone be happy. Take your mind away from that other is responsible for your pain and the suffering. You see that? What a beautiful. Once you understand it, you say, my goodness, how deeper understanding all masters have. They were the greater professors, much more intelligent than professors in Harvard or MIT. They have such a penetrating understanding. Once you start loving them, that is why we have a master and disciple tradition where you love the teacher. So the current teacher is passing on that knowledge. You hate the teacher and still you are sitting in the same class in Harvard. It will not work. It will not bring about an inner transformation. Outer transformation, yes, it will definitely bring. And it will help you reach to the same state of the mind which this woman has reached. Unnecessary. I say, thanks God that I'm not influenced by the American life, but I'm influenced by the American values, definitely. Freedom and etc. etc. So that is what our master says, the fundamental ignorance. That fundamental ignorance, we use only one word, ignorance. But when you explain it, it is because of your wrong and false notion from where it has come. It has come from the vasana. So you impose the false notion on the sankalpa and the vikalpa. Then you have a desire, and the desire has the six enemies, and then the impure state. So we use the one word, ignorance. Or Buddha uses the one word, dukkha. The word is suffering. You see, so once you start thinking, oh my goodness, this is what it is. So what happens, you for the first time intellectually you get rid of the attachment with your honey, with your son and daughter, with your business, and now you are able to think clearly. Don't you live with your honey? Yes. Don't you live with your business? Yes. But internally everything has changed. Dukkha has gone. Avidya has gone. You feel totally relaxed, calm. In that state of the calmness, the Shreyas works. Shreyas works. I'm talking to you. You see, action has two parts. So we will meet at this time virtually on a Google Meet. After an hour, I am doing something else, you are doing something else. Yeah, external. But this action has an internal aspect also. What is that aspect? I am teaching with the ego, you are learning with the ego. Ego creates the desire creates the thought prompts me to act, and my action and its impression goes to the vasanas. So I'm creating vasanas. One option. I break that connection. Doer, there is no doer. Let me express. So you are a seeker. So your aspiration is to reach to that knowledge. What happens? You are not creating more vasanas. This is what our masters are teaching. I have to listen to it and understand it again and again and again until the internal part of the action, invisible action, which is creating vasana, has to be dropped. There, the discernment, viveka and vairagya. You cannot see viveka, you cannot see vairagya. It has to be at the level of cognition, it has to be level at the level of recognition. That is the only thing. And it lays such a great foundation for the 40 steps. That is why I picked up this topic before I thought to go deeper. It comes from Gita in a different form. So be clear. It is not that I should control my thought. I should become aware of the thought. This thought has come from the vasana, mind. So I become aware of my sankalpa and vikalpa through the thoughts in the mind. So thoughts are helper to me. I become aware, I don't want. Instant passion, I want, I created the vasanas. Instant response, dispassion and discernment, I don't want. Done. And I'm happy. It involves a conscious choice and the determination to pursue, to follow, to remember, to recognize the stress. Now I will do this. No, no, but how to get rid of the detachment? This body, mind, and intellect belongs to the existence, belongs to the Shiva. What do you mean? You think consciously 1 million times. That's enough. The moment any sankalpa, vikalpa comes, it happens in the mind. The mind will translate that into action by the body. Okay. And it is because of the I thoughts. So, by body, mind, and intellect belongs to the Shiva. Now you decide, you take care. Finished. Do you think like, yes, you think like this. It will work. Don't worry about it. It will work. Because mind already has created doubt by thinking how it will work. And which mind? The impure states of the mind. That's why it is not working. Are you getting it? I'm just trying to so because there is already intellect is already paralyzed because of the impure states of the mind. That's why it is not working. And so I have a doubt. With that doubt, I say, okay, it will not work. Where's the intellect? Now I have given you everything. So when I have given you everything, what to think? Nothing to think. Now the Shiva has to think. You're calm. But with the impure states of the mind, you think that I have given the body, mind, and intellect to the Shiva, it will create more problem. Then your mind will say, okay, Shiva, you do up to this level. You give me little pleasure, I'm okay with it. Then you are gone. You fall into, again, ignorance. And it will take many days to remember. You see how important it is to have a pure states of the mind. The impure states of the mind causes fantasies, imagination, projection. Mind is engaged in these projections and imaginations all the time. Why? The ego is working behind. Why the ego is working? I'm the doer, I'm the enjoyer. If I do this, I will enjoy this. Understand it clearly. Understand it clearly. This is what the Buddha says. World is suffering. Sansara is dukkha. Not the sansara created by the existence, but the sansara created by me, out of my ego. And this is the entire chain reaction. It is not very difficult to understand, but it should continue in all my activities. Internal action should continue. External action, I'm doing my business, let me continue. I'm eating food, let me continue. No problem. But internal action should continue on the ego, on the sankalpa and the vikalpa, on the desire, on how the desire converts into six enemies. Six enemies of the mind, I have told you. It is desire becomes the agitation, desire becomes the greed, desire becomes the delusion, desire becomes the pride or arrogance, desire becomes the jealousy, and that is why you start blaming and complaining. And then I rationalize, I blame you because you are wrong. I have nothing to do who is wrong and right, you know what I have to do. I told you, my master was very important. He has such a subtle thought process. If I continue to blame and complain, then what is happening? I am gathering and accumulating a wrong, bad impressions from you, and it is going into the vasana. If someone is blaming and complaining, then I am becoming free. Thanks God, at least there are some people who are complaining and who are criticizing. But at the same time, I am a seeker. I'm talking about that this applies to a seeker, not to a non-seeker. Why, if someone is blaming me and I'm happy? Because I have a level of endurance. because the existence provided me a situation in which you have come and criticizing me. So let me exhaust this vasanas by endurance. Beautiful thought, beautiful idea. Recognize that these impure states of the mind arise from the mutual mental impurities and are obstacles to our evolution. You see, look at the desire. Desire in the beginning leads to excessive attachment and dissatisfaction. Hesitation, there is the mind in the hesitation because my desire is not fulfilled. It results into negative action and mental disturbances. Greed, a repeat desire, leads to restlessness and dissatisfaction. Pride or delusion, delusion is the root cause of all the mental impurities. So first three factors causes the delusion. So sankalpa, vikalpa, desire, sankalpa, vikalpa, desire, sankalpa, vikalpa, desire, fulfilled, not fulfilled. So I am caught in the web of a delusion. So I will definitely lack the humility. I will definitely lack sincerity in the practice. We are understanding the same topic in totally a different way. To all these, all the entire chain reaction. So before the desire, when I say desire arise in the mind, if the desire is unfulfilled, hesitation, if it is fulfilled, greed, and all the three results, because I'm repeating the same thing again, it results into a delusion, delusion results into a pride, and ultimately, so one desire becoming all the six enemies, but before the desire, that is purely internal. So my thought process has an imagined reality. That is what the sankalpa and vikalpa is. But where the sankalpa, vikalpa comes from, the vasanas, what is above the vasana is the real self. So I have to transcend this. I have to transcend the mind. That is why we say that I have to transcend. When I transcend the mind, I don't care any vasanas. But to transcend the mind, I have to purify the mind. Without purification, it is not possible. To purify the mind, I have to move to the shreyas. I'm combining everything. So there are two types of the mind, impure mind and pure mind. Pure mind always moves to the shreyas. So I have to constantly, the way you count the money, okay, I have $5,000, 10,500, 4,300. How is the total? So I have to make a total by these, all the factors. So when you add all these factors, what is left? Purity of the mind, calmness. And gradually you will realize that when you say the personal life, what exactly is the personal life? That is, now you compare this women who said I don't want to give $500,000 and still I want to divorce after 10 years of marriage. What exactly is your personal or family life? It has an element of desire. So desire at the very lowest level, that is your physical desire, sexual desire. You have a fear, so you want a company. Very good. You want a company. Okay, and then you have a sense of delusion. And you also have a sense of hesitation. No, I don't agree with you, and I agree with you. This is what is your personal life. So obviously, you have to think in this way. So keep on thinking in this way. You'll be suffering. Professional life, first is definitely, we don't see that how to excel in my business or a profession, but I see how much I can grab. That is the greed part. And the greed results into delusion. And delusion leads into egoism. Oh, I have a good business. Oh, you have a beautiful house. No, because I have a good business. Ego. Ego and the delusion is there. You look at it. If you see all the six enemies and how they impure states of the mind, social life. In the social life, we normally tend to move our mind towards the jealousy and hatred, competitive, blame and complain. And because of the jealousy, you can also pick up the second factor is the hesitation and the stress and the delusion. Delusion is common in everything. Family life, obviously, I told you the physical desire, a sense of emotional attachment to get rid of the fear, and egoism. Problem is egoism. I earned the money and you earned the money. At the time of the marriage, oh, one soul, two bodies. Now two soul, two bodies. During the process of marriage and after spending 10 years, I'm talking about this women, we reach to a higher state of ignorance and suffering. And that is, first thing is the satsang that is required. I told you, satsang is required. So you are listening and learning, and gradually the mind start recognizing. The intellect starts recognizing. Today I did not have any sense of attachment and clinging, and I'm happy. So the teacher is feeding through different ways, by different thoughts, by different principles and concepts. But the focus remains the same real self.